Good evening, and welcome to another edition of, or actually, the first issue of A View from the Middle. This is a show that will take relevant topics and subjects and try to explain it from a centrist or middle point of view. Hopefully, you learned something. And as always, thank you all for tuning in and enjoying my content. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so that you know when new content is being uploaded to the servers. And here we go. Today's topic, or I should say today's ramble, we'll touch on quite a few things too. But the first thing I want to touch on is the concept of 10. And I'm sure that you've heard a lot about it. You've heard, especially in the sexual dating marketplace, the dating marketplace more specifically, but I'm sure you've heard things like, I'm a 10. I'm always a 10. And shout out to Just Pearly Things and Pearly, my girl, looking at you. Appreciate what you're doing. She has said on her podcast on more than one occasion that the idea of a 10 is fiction. And the reason why it's fiction is because it doesn't exist. You can't be a 10 because a 10 is perfection. And we all know that people aren't perfect. Therefore, they can't be a 10. So, where does this nonsense come from? I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Simply stated, the concept of a 10 started because somebody, somewhere in their delusional state of mind, approached a woman and said, "You are perfect. Just the way you are." And women, being the attention cravers that they are, bought it. And she spread it around. And the idea took off like wildfire. Now, it got to the point where if you were to go out and ask a group of women on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what would you rate yourself? They would virtually all say they're a 10, or they'd be an 11. And the only thing I have to say about that is, how? Because the next question following their logic would be, is there any room for improvement? Oh yes, of course there's room for improvement. I'm growing every day. Okay. So then how can you say you're a 10? A 10 is perfection. And you just said that you're not perfect. I feel. I feel that everyone's perfect. No, everyone is not perfect. As a matter of fact, I'll go on record to say nobody's perfect. We all have flaws, and some of us have deeper and bigger flaws than others. But we all got it. And to say that someone is perfect, that means they have no flaws. And to take it from a religious standpoint, they're Jesus. Because Jesus Christ was perfect. So taking this argument to its logical conclusion, you're you are comparing yourself to Jesus. You're saying you're truly Christ-like because you believe in your heart of hearts that you are Christ. Now, don't get it twisted. No one will actually say that unless they're a narcissist. But leaving that group aside, no one in their right mind will say, I'm perfect. But they contradict themselves by calling themselves 10. I don't understand where they come up with this logic, how they apply it, and why they do it. Because to say you're perfect, knowing that you're not, is a lie. No, it's not dishonest. It's worse than that. Because you are willfully deceiving yourself and others. That cannot stand. But because of the simp culture, and that in itself is wrong because everybody's a simp. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you admit to it or not, everyone is simp at some point in their life. When you fall in love, deep head over heels in love, you become a simp. Because when you're deep in love, there's nothing you won't do for that person, no place you won't go, nothing you won't do. All of this to profess your love for someone, to show that no matter what it takes, no matter what you have to do, you will come through in the end. And that, by very definition, is a sin. So, taking that thought to its logical conclusion, that would mean that the majority of men are simps at some stage. Now, I'm not saying that they're all simps by default, but I'm saying at some point in their lives, they've simped out. At some point, for reasons that they know and only they know, they became a simp. And they feel that it's justified in their case because of XYZ. She's beautiful. She's precious. I don't know what I do without her. I can't live without her. She completes me. She's the yin to my yang, etc., so forth ad nauseum. Everyone has simped out. And taking that back to the current topic of conversation, when you simp, you co-sign. You agree to it. You put your rubber stamp on it. Yes, baby, you're right. Yes, baby, you are XYZ. Oh, yes, you're perfect. Yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you're a 10. Knowing she's not a 10. I've seen people call women 10s that are barely 5s. But they're trying to fulfill the prime directive. They're trying to sow their seed. And as I stated in another video, men will do whatever it takes to make that happen. Whatever it takes. If that means lying, so be it. If I lie and she believes it, I'll get the nookie. So he lies. And women because they love to be gassed up, are only too happy to buy into it. They don't even question it. Or if they do question it, what makes you say that? They know that the next words coming out of the simp's mouth will only be affirmation. So they can't lose. They get words that they want. They get affirmation. They get confirmation. They get everything that they want. And all it's going to cost them is 5 to 10 minutes of a male's pleasure. Because that's something else. You can go 5. You can go for 6. You can go 8. You can go for 10 minutes. But that's what you're going to go for. Because unless you've got a problem, your friend goes back home. Then you've got to wait for conditions to revert to the beginning so that you can try again. So when you hear people saying, I can do it all night, you hear people singing about it, you hear people rapping about it, they're rapping about not one marathon session. They're rapping about 3, 4, 5, and 6 times through the course of the night. And let's give them, just be generous, 10 minutes of pleasure. We'll take about a half hour to 45 minutes for them to start to get to the written erection. And then they get to a point where they can actually begin again. So it's about an hour. So you got 10 minutes on, hour off. 1. 10 minutes, an hour off. 2:20. 10 minutes on, hour off. 3:30. 10 minutes on, an hour off. 4:40. 10 minutes on, an hour off. 5:50. 10 minutes on, an hour off. 7. You can go 6 times in 7 hours. And that's a lot because that's basically the night's sleep. So that's in a perfect world. That's the optimum scenario. Most guys, they 3 times and then they're out. Because at that point, the body's physically tired. As they go around, he's like, I want. I don't care what you want. I'm going to sleep. I want sleep. I don't care what. I don't care that you're still aroused. I don't care that you need more. I am going to sleep. And they're sleeping. So, you get, let's say your date starts today. You got 2 hours of chit chat. Takes you to 10. So about half an hour to get home. It's 10:30. More chit chat and foreplay. That's about all toast about an hour. 11 times. Then you get 3 sessions. 3 hours and 30 minutes. So 11, 13 hours, 30 minutes. 12, 1, 2, 3. You're going to bed at 3. And when you're young, you can do that. You can get up at 6, at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you don't need sleep yet. You're wired. Especially if you've done the deed. Because then you go to sleep. I can't wait to get up so you can do it again tomorrow. And once again, I will do whatever it takes to make that happen. because now I know I can get it. I need it. We started tonight. I hope if we ended the night saying we can sit down, rinse and repeat, and that is for a male the optimal income outcome. Excuse me, of a date. The object of a date is to have intercourse. No more, no less. Now, there are some of us who look at things a little bit differently. There are some of us who basically live for the chase, the DT, the dick tease. Oh, they'll act like it. They'll do everything it takes up to the point that you're ready to do the deed, and they decide, nah, I'd rather not. And that's for the ones that follow through. In all honesty, it doesn't even get that far. They go to a club, they're whining and grinding up on a person. At the end of the night, all right, good night. They go home. The end result is pretty much the same. The major difference is that there's no actual penetration. But they're wet. They've relieved their primal urge. They're good. So what does this have to do with the 10 stuff, you may ask? You're going off on a tangent. And yes, I have. But there was a reason behind it. And the reason simply is that simps, alphas, betas, sigmas, deltas, and gammas, all of them, no matter what you think you are identified as, you all have one overarching imperative. And that's to sow your seed. And every male has their own strategy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Some males feel they have to supplement it by giving them something else. Okay, you may not be a 10 in looks. You may not have a ton of money, but you're as funny as anything. So you make them laugh. Some, no, you don't got money. You don't have looks. You're not a funny person, but you're talented musical. You can play the heck out of that piano. You can play the heck out of that guitar, that bass. You're a talented lyricist, so you write him a song. All these things I'm talking about. You may be good looking. You're physically pleasing. You're aesthetically pleasing to the eye. You're walking. Ooh, who is that? All these things together, or together, either together or separate pieces, or whatever it takes, whatever you think the need is, all of these issues are pointed toward the outcome of having intercourse. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you feel, everything that you are, is crafted with the intention of meeting, mating, and securing the opposite sex. Everything. Everything. And there's no escaping it. There's no getting around it. There's no denying it. Everyone is hardwired there. Some may choose the homosexual route. Some may choose the trans route. Some may be bi. Some may be polygamous, maybe polyamorous. But no matter what you do, no matter which camp you rock with, whatever path you go with, whatever belief that you have, the end result is always the same. You're looking to procreate. And whether you can or can't is another story. But it's not going to stop anybody from trying. You can have um, a group of people, and all of them want the same thing. Not all of them are going to go about it in the same way. Out of a group of 10 people that are looking to mate, 6 to 7 will try the traditional tried and true. The other 3 are left up to their own devices and will do what they feel is right to achieve the same outcome. Everybody that you come across that opts to play in the dating market, and once again, it's a game. There are winners, and there are losers. Everybody wants to be a winner. Not everybody can be a winner. As a song by the Whispers once said, to win, somebody's got to lose. Now that's not fair. That's not right. But it is what it is. It's an outcome, a binary outcome of playing the game of the dating marketplace. Win some, you lose some. You get the nookie, you get rejected. Binary. A or B. There's no and. A or B. Pick a poison. I am of the opinion, bringing it back to the beginning, that women that say they are a 10 with no proof except their feeling that they are should be left alone. Women who feel they're a 10. I'm a 10. I am the table. Bitch, please. I am not saying that people shouldn't feel that they are at the top of the game. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that people shouldn't believe what they believe. You can believe what you want. But as I've said time and time again on these podcasts, there are consequences for your actions. You're going to have to reap what you sow. You sow the wind, you reap the whirlwind. The bill always comes due. Always. And that's going to just about do it for today's episode. Once again, I humbly thank all of you for taking the time of your busy day to let an old man rant. It's good for the soul, and who knows? You might learn something because the overriding theme of all my podcasts are not to sway you. They're not to browbeat you. They're not about to change your mind. Because I can't do that. I can offer my opinion. I can offer facts and things to back it up. You have to decide. The only thing I do is I show another point of view. And then what hopefully you will do with that is it'll roll around your head. You'll think about it. You'll ponder it. You'll come to a conclusion. And you'll action it to improve your life. And if I do that just once to one person, my job is done. And with that, once again, hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you know when we got new content coming out. And coming soon, we're going to have super chats, live chats, things like that. We're growing. We'll continue to grow. And we hope you stay with us and you rock with us. And with that, till the next, peace.